Welcome to the Caribbean Edge. We are now in the Edge After Dark, where we get to meet our beautiful panel tonight. So this is the second time we've actually done the Edge After Dark. And what this show is about is just evaluating the other shows that we've had. So last week we had a heated discussion about healthy separation. And some of the guests, I think everyone on this panel, and we're missing one, had something to say about the panel that was there or made a comment towards it. So they were invited back to talk about what they thought about the conversation, as well as to tune into tonight's episode of the idea that there's only one person for each of us is total madness, and let us know their opinions, thoughts, do they agree, disagree, and just have a very healthy, fun, heated discussions. I have no idea where it's going to take us. So I'm going to have them all introduce themselves, starting with Mr. G. Cole. So happy you can join me.
The pleasure is absolutely mine. I want to thank you, first of all, for the invite. Again, I didn't expect anything because I was just commenting, being my usual, the antagonist, and here we are. But I am a podcaster, broadcaster. The podcast is called Homegrown with G Cole. We talk about a lot of things. We listen to some great music. We talk to some great people. So, it's available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Radio.com. Wherever you listen to a podcast, we're there, and we just talk stuff. Also, I do radio. I'm actually going to be hopping off probably maybe 5-10 minutes early because I got to go do the night show. But just, look us up on social media at my G Cole, and you'll find out all you need to know. I'm from Ocho Rios, Jamaica, born and raised, and you can tell in my ways.
Oh, listen to that radio voice. I'm from Ochi too. I'm an Ochi girl.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So Miss Marlene, welcome. And you've been a viewer of the Caribbean Edge for quite some time. So tell us about you.
Well, I'm not from Ochi. I'm a Kingston girl, but live here in South Florida. I'm a realtor. I'm a paralegal. I'm a mom. I'm a motivator. I'm an introvert, but I like this program because I get to listen to adult views and partake and be able to express my opinion in an open way, and it's great getting other people's opinion on certain topics that we live our everyday life through. So here I am.
Well, thank you. And yes, a lot of these shows you learn so much and different perspectives. So that's one of the reasons we do this as well. And I meet so many amazing people. So welcome. How about you, Mr. Nixon?
Good evening, everyone. I'm very glad to be here. Thank you for the invite. My name is Nixon Leger. I'm from Haiti, and I'm really glad to be at this show tonight. I think I'm going to learn a lot of things.
And you do art, right? You're an artist?
Yeah, I'm an artist. Yeah.
Okay.
Full time.
Well, welcome. So, Miss Yolanda, you have some beautiful artwork in the background. How are you this evening?
I am absolutely wonderful. Thank you for having me. I'm Yolanda Brown. I'm probably the only one who came through someone else who told me about the show, Clelia, or who you call CC. She and I are pretty cool. We are very good friends, and she was the one who told me about this and about you, so it's pretty exciting. I am a dean at Broward College, and I am a 53-year-old single woman with no children.
Cool. Well, welcome. So we met up in the room, probably about 15, 20 minutes before going live. And they already started the conversation. I was like, whoa, we gotta wait till we're live to get started. So I want to first start with last week's show, healthy separation. So what was your take on that, Nixon?
Say it again.
What was your take on last week's show? Do you agree, disagree? What did you agree with?
I didn't really follow listen.
Oh, you
all
didn't
the
watch
show.
last week, so you watched this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so
this
let me
week,
switch
yeah.
to Yolanda.
Mhm.
Yolanda,
See,
tell us
I've
about
been
last
I've
week's
been to
show.
the. Mhm.
Last week's show was a pretty interesting show, which is probably how I got here. I thought Michael dominated the conversation and he was treating everyone as if he were the master teacher and they were the students. I thought Clelia was trying to get a very important point across, and that point was when she was young, she did young things, girl things. But when she became an adult, she understood her own responsibility and accountability in love and life, and that she could, positively uncouple with someone and still maintain friendship. I think one of the reasons why she told me about this and said I had to come was because I am friends with every ex I've ever had. And my immediate ex and I are extremely good friends who she works with. And we have a very loving relationship. So I think that the points that they all made were great. I say, save one. I think love does not have to be contained or confined into one way. You don't stop loving someone if you have really loved them. What you do is you redefine that love. And a lot of times, if you really have a relationship where you're friends, you can maintain a level of friendship without the romance. Of course, that may take a little time for separation, for people to get over their emotions. But I believe that if you really love someone, it is your accountability and responsibility to heal what you broke, fix it, talk through it until they get there. And then you guys try to figure out a way to come back together and maintain the friendship if you both agree to that. There are some people who say, I really don't want anything else to do. That's okay. But I think that when you really care about someone, that you really can get beyond the moment, talk it through until the person or until you're comfortable. And then you can decide that, hey, I would really like to be your friend because I know you care about me and I care about you, and never have sex with them again.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's true.
Marlene's agreeing. Go ahead, Marlene.
That's absolutely true. Because I can speak from experience, especially after my divorce. I thought I would never speak to my ex-husband ever again. And we're the best of friends. And I don't know if it's because we have kids together, but for certain things, he's the only person I can talk to. And since we have separated, we have never had sex again, but we're the best. We're like brothers and sisters. So I think it comes with a level of maturity too, because when I was younger, I always said I would never be friends with any of my ex. But there was a reason why you were together. So certain experiences remain with you with that particular person. And I can say that for my ex-husband, you know, while I can relate to him about anything, just about anything, and we respect each other's boundaries, so I absolutely agree with Yolanda as far as that topic is concerned, you know.
But do you think you can, have a relationship with someone for years, and then when you separate, let's say 5, 10 years down the line, that person, you realize that person, you didn't even really know them based on how they're treating you?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people go through this, and based on just those months or weeks, you don't ever want to have a relationship with them again.
Yeah.
And that to me can be a healthy separation as well. For my personal health, I can choose not to be with you because you can cause me so much hurt. Because you say, how can someone have loved me so much and we had so much together, and yet you could hurt me so much beyond it kind of doesn't erase the love, but it just turns a different take to how you want to deal with that person. Sometimes it's easier never to deal with them.
Yep.
So that's a different perspective.
It depends on the reason why you separated, actually, because
But why though? If you're separated, you're separated.
no,
Despite the reasons.
My last relationship was like that because it was not healthy, not healthy, and you can pinpoint when someone is trying to use you in a way that is best if you just part company in its entirety. Lose the number,
Exactly.
lose me.
I
Yeah,
think you
and
have people that you want to maintain a relationship with and a friendship because your love was so strong and the respect level that you have. But I also know there's people in my life that I don't want in my life because I don't even want to have a conversation with you anymore. And to get to that point, it's not an easy process. I'm just saying it may be healthier for us as long as you don't like internalize that. Not everyone can do that. You still dwell on a lot of it and say, wow, let me reflect on the good times. And it keeps you lingering to some degree, or you can walk away. G. Cole, tell us what you think so far and what's your take on everything?
Well, I'm starting with your original question about last week's show. I agree with most of the panelists here. It was, I don't believe in the experts, to be perfectly honest with you, when it comes to like relationships and so forth, because everybody comes from a vantage point and we can claim it to be an educated vantage point or not. Truth is, it's coming from emotions most time. We use the broad brush when it's convenient, but a lot of times our viewpoint is based on personal hurt. All right. Personal happiness, whatever the case may be. And oftentimes there's a line between rationality and reality, and people try to rationalize stuff a lot. I saw Michael try to do that a lot. I felt like that's a therapist that you go into the office and you feel like I need my money back because I heard you didn't hear me. That's kind of what I got when I watched the show. Truth be told, it's okay to have what people deem an unhealthy breakup. It came to an end, right? And 9 times out of 10, when things come to an end, let's be real, it ain't mutual. We like to give off the act like it's normal for stuff to be mutual. Nah, most times one person left the other. They call them the breaker and the breakee. On my show, I call them the bunner and the bunny, or the left on the lefty, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, the person who's leaving, especially for the reason they're leaving, has a total different vantage point than the other person. If I did you wrong, if I broke your heart, if I cheated on you, if I caused you hurt, if I caused you pain, it is my onus and responsibility to give you the floor to be mad at me. If you want to be mad at me for a minute, it's all good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to take a punch in the face. But at the end of the day, if you're mad at me for my indiscretions, I earned it. Let me swallow it. Chin up. Let's stop talking about as a healthy. We'll get there. I think when we force that healthy breakup on people, it's faux, it's false, it's unreal. And then later on, the truth comes out. If you're mad at me, you need to mad at me for a couple of years, it's cool. When you get over it and we've healed, we get together.
But G. Cole, here's the thing about that. I agree with you, but just because you're angry with someone or just because it broke up the way it did doesn't mean that it doesn't end healthy, right?
But that's what they were trying to portray it as, though, that if it doesn't go smooth, it didn't end healthy. You know what I'm saying?
But it's okay if it doesn't end healthy. Most breakups in the moment, they have a couple of curse words or throwing stuff across the room. But the bottom line is the maturity level in you, the love that you have will eventually, I think, redirect you to say, let's talk this through, right? Going back to what you said, Dawn, I know me personally, I've had a very abusive relationship, very bad. And I was young. But it took me 10 years to really process that relationship. But he and I are very good friends. I needed to heal myself. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why I went back to have the conversation. It just so happened that enough time and space had gone between the relationship that he was ready to talk about it. And it wasn't until I was heard and then he responded in kind was I able to heal myself. And we were friends. So I agree with you, G. Cole, but I also believe that on both sides, there are issues. And that's the reason why I treat people the way we treat them. Because I think if you're in your mind and somebody's loving on you and treating you right, you're not mistreating them for the sake of mistreating them. You got issues.
No, it's cool, and you're absolutely right. What I'm getting at is sometimes we try to clinicize it. You know what I mean? We try to we try to diagnose a problem when we got to let stuff heal naturally. Something that I feel like, you know, the professionals, so to speak, take us away from is the organic nature of things, and it's at the beginning, it's at the end. It's no different from the relationships that come together not organically. All right. It's not real. So at some point in time, it will fizzle. And at the same thing too with the end. If it ends, let the process take its course. Who's mad, be mad. Who's cool, be cool. And then you'll come back together.
Right.
Not as lovers, but you know what I mean? But you can have a relationship, you can be cool with each other. But if the goal at inception is we've got to do this the right way and we've got to do this the right way, you know what I mean? It not gonna work. Somebody's gonna be mad and somebody's hiding and suppressing some feelings that they need to get out. And then the problem lasts a lot longer.
Yeah.
But you can also walk away and still be healthy if you put the focus on your personal health and well-being. So it goes back to that point where it doesn't take someone else to complete you. You need to complete yourself.
Yes.
So I'm not relying on your happiness, your anger, anything else to make me have a healthy separation. And I agree with you, G. Cole, about the therapist. And that's why a lot of people can't, you know, especially as Caribbean people, we don't see ourselves seeing a therapist. And I don't want to just use Michael that was on the show as a therapist, or not sure if that he even has that title, because I think you have to be able to listen to people before you can also give advice. And that didn't happen as well. So, yeah, hence we're here having this healthy discussion. But I'm a firm believer that if you are a strong person and you love yourself more than you love someone else,
yes,
that's a healthy separation.
Another thing, Dawn, what a bad relationship does is really disconnect you from yourself. So my perspective is, whenever you break up, you need to give yourself time to discover you again. Especially if you
lost yourself in the first place. That's where we go wrong too.
Yes.
We talk about how we conform to the other person, and we probably do it as we're younger, because I've done that. But I find like being single, and probably because I've been single for a long time, which is phenomenal, it makes me discover who I am. So someone coming in has to accept it. So I've had people that say, why you have to go play ball? Why you have to, no, this is what I do. Why you have to have a talk show? Because this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know? So you can't, if you conform to someone else, then I don't need to rediscover myself. If I'm in a relationship and we break up and go our separate ways, I still have me. I still have the same friends, my family, everyone. And so we can't lose ourselves. So we shouldn't in people if we're living a confident life.
That's true.
That's maturity.
I think now I remember something important from last week. It was Michael. Michael emphasized on infatuation and love. So I think as we do our best to pass a message to other people, we need to break it out. What is love? I don't even know what is love. I've been married, I've been divorced, so I'm still don't know what is love. So we need to break it out, because I believe that's it's like a game. We start the game in one way, so we will end in one way. So we need to see the steps. We need to know when we find our loves, because there's a lot of things to know before you think that this person is my love, this person is my man, or is my woman. I think we need to talk about, to break it out so that other people can understand. I still don't know what is love.
Well, I think that it's self-defined, right? We have principles depending upon if you're a spiritual person, you have the outline of love. If you're not a spiritual person, you know what it feels like because you have a mother or someone who loved you, who provided for you, took care of you, supported you, was there for you. So you have to define what love means for you. Infatuation is one thing, but I think as adults, now we're talking as grown-ups, we're not talking as 20-year-olds. All of us look like we're beyond 25 years old. So I think at this
Not
point,
me.
we pretty much understand it. I think what ends up happening, and Dawn, I think you made a very good point. You remain who you are, but I think that takes maturity, right? Because if there was a time when we thought to love this person is to become what the image of who they think I am, right?
Wow.
Most people are not dating someone totally on them. They want you to change the way you dress. Don't hang out with your friends as much. Come in at time. Cook the way I like. You know, why do you eat this way? Why do you do these things? And then you find yourself, for the sake of love, for the sake of sacrifice, for the sake of the relationship, okay, I can tweak this a little bit. It's no big deal. This isn't as important to me. Until done, we chip away at who we are. And then, Marlene, we're trying to find ourselves when it's over because we've lost ourselves. I think you're right. I think maturity dictates that I don't need to be anything more or less than me.
Yeah.
And if he or she
I think
doesn't like it, then they need to keep going because I'm not her.
Yep.
Or you're not.
I think the problem. I can feel I have love for someone, but how do I measure her love? I have to
terms
It's a
of-
measure
whole
with
nother show, Nixon.
Yeah.
In terms of
That's power 5.
That's a
Yeah,
rabbit
because
hole.
no, it's important. It's important because you think in a relationship you love someone, but how do you show that the person loves you at the same rate?
Nixon, are you
Because-
married? Are
Say it
you
again?
married? Are you married?
I was.
Oh, you were. Are you seeing someone now?
No.
Okay, because
I was gonna ask, is she watching?
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell her, I say you really don't really know if you really love her or not. Because
No. I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. I might see someone. I see, because I in my view, most of the times, or right now, most of the people, when they talk about love is no condition. Is there anyone here, or I didn't met anyone now that when we love without condition? Because
yeah,
you may look beautiful, you may look I mean, you have all kind of things that you have a good job, you have everything. So and when you say, oh, I want to build a relationship, so I will highlight a lot of things that require a condition. So is there any love here? If I wasn't educated, if I don't have it, I remember I met a girl a long time ago. She asked me 3 questions. Do you have a job? Do you work? I forgot the third one. But it's all about money.
finance.
You see what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a will game. If I don't have money right now. So
Okay, so
But that was just that personal.
on the single
That's
show.
a different, that's a different topic altogether.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
a
gonna
different
invite
person.
Nixon on the dating show because someone asked me
Yes.
to have a show for single people so he can discover love. So, Mr. G.
Oh.
Cole, tell us what you think about what has been said so far from the women.
First of all, love what the ladies have to say all the time. I love having conversation with the ladies because I learn so much. And then I go home to my wife and I get brownie points. It's not like I'm a romantic genius, but I only teach me the thing. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all big time. But here's the thing. I think, and as much as Nixon was talking about something different, I'm grabbing onto something that he was saying. Y'all go into these situations with expectations. It's almost like there's a criteria list, okay? It's a formula, it's a recipe. Do we have these ingredients? Earlier, I was talking about the organic structure of these relationships and love. I've had people talk to me about relationships, and it seems like there's an agenda. We got a checklist of what we're looking for. You know what I mean? We're not going out to have a good time. We're going out to audition a husband or audition a wife, right? And then also we have a lot of broken people out in these streets that have mended themselves, going out there to go mess up other people's lives because they themselves aren't whole. Find yourself, do you, and then when it's to happen, it'll happen. And truth be told, ain't nothing wrong with being a single lady in these streets. If I was to get divorced tomorrow, I'm gonna rock the single thing. You know what I mean? A lot of fine people out in the streets.
Yeah. It's better to be single than unhappy. So one of the questions that I do have, G. Cole, because this came up in the chat, and the person said, do men curl up in bed?
We're human too. Some men do. I've been accused of not being wired right. So truth be told, I don't hold on to stuff. I move on easily. I'm not the type of person that needs closure. If you need to go, I'm sorry, this thing ain't working out, right? But I don't need the closure. I don't need the whole bag of curl up on whatever. But to say that men don't is wrong. I think, there's levels of sexism and that falls under it. It's way deeper than that. Why people think men don't hurt, men don't this. Some men hurt. I'm gonna tell you this. I have two brethren right now, two friends right now, that when I talk to them, and them now watch them, I can say this, I feel like I'm talking to two of my homegirls because they are going through it, and you never would have thought, these are bulky, strong dudes, you never would have thought that the demise of the relationship affected them the way it does. Some of them, it's not just a relationship that's ending, but it's a family that's ending. You might be losing, that communion. Your child is no longer going to be around you 24/7 like they used to be. What you thought you had, you now realize you never did. And those are the things that will have somebody curling up. It's not the end of the relationship. It's just how it ended. Well, damn, she had another family. You know what I mean? It comes out now that she was wanting out for the last 5 years. So we've been living two different relationships in the same household. I thought we had a union and we never really did. All those little things will have you curling up. Again, men do. From my experience with the fellas that I know, they do.
Honest answer. And a lot of times it's because we've reached the last straw. We've just given so much forgiveness throughout the relationship that, I think in generally speaking, men don't realize that at some point you're gonna have a breaking point, and women too. You put up with certain things, you expect the person to change, and it doesn't change. So then you have your breaking point, and that's when it ends for both men and women. So Marlene, you made an interesting comment. Well, it's by the truth. It says 90% of 90% cheating is the main factor for separation.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, we didn't touch on that a lot because based on how the conversation went, and G. Cole saying, no, I think the statistics probably too high.
No, men, I don't know. They find it hard. Okay, you have a good thing going. You have a family, you have kids, you have a house, you have a woman.
I thought we were cool, Marlene. That's all.
No, you and I will talk after the show, right? You have you two working household, everything going great, and he sees this nice little young girl, and skin start flare up, and and the person who has been holding it down with you is like nobody anymore. You become abusive physically, mentally, emotionally. This is why when you break, you have to go find back yourself again, because this man that you did everything for turn around and mentally destroyed you. And what that actually does, it makes it hard for you to love again easily. It makes it very hard for you to love again easily. After I was divorced, I didn't even want a man around me for over 10 years. People think I was a lesbian. You understand me? It's just that I just think everybody's going to come and do the same thing to me. So I prefer just staying by myself. Technically speaking, I'm still by myself because I lived just with my, if it's not me and my kids, it's me in my own circle, but I'm not totally alone,
I got somebody for you.
You have somebody?
I got a homie.
Okay.
I got somebody for you. But you know what though, Marlene, I'll say this. Don't, and we can't lose sight of this. There's a guy somewhere on a couch sitting down saying the same thing that you're saying right now. We got to stray away from the fact that infidelity, cheating, lying is a male thing, right? It's not
Yep.
gender. It's not a
It
gender.
is a male thing. It is.
But
Sorry.
let's say mega line you up on my bridging. So I'm gonna set you up on my bridging. You have a total different vantage point, a total different viewpoint. But here's the thing. I listen to people talk a lot, and I can't judge, I can't do anything but just listen, because if somebody's hurt, respect that viewpoint. Your viewpoint is a personal one. Just like I'm saying, there's a guy on a couch somewhere right about now with the same personal viewpoint. I know 2 of them, right? And they could tell a story of hurt and how they've been victimized on the whole 9. So you know what? When you heal, and I can hear it in your voice, but it's not a male thing. Let me tell you something. If we're to be specific, I've seen some stuff, some ill deeds done to men by women that I have never seen men do to a woman. All right. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's not a gender specific thing. Women are actually better at it nowadays. Way back then still, just never have no phone with cameras. But women are way better at it than men are. And men out here are going through some real things, but we also can't speak on it because it's not cool. You're going to be looked down on, not just by your friends and other men, but the other women that you're trying to get with too, because you seem like a soft guy that's coming here, that's damaged goods and all them things. At the end of the day, we're human beings. So it's not a male-female thing. I think it's a human thing.
Yeah, but Yolanda also hit it on the head when she said that how you know you've healed is when you, really and truly, when you and that person can start being friends again. Because as I told you, me and my ex are the best of friends now. You understand what I mean?
But why do you need to wait
Yeah.
for you to?
Because what happened after that, Dawn, is that I see that same image in every other man. That's what was happening to me.
Wow.
You understand me? And because of that, I just preferred, after discovering myself again, to just stay by myself.
You say something. You say something that's very profound, though, Marlene, and you say it over and over, and I realize it's really deep. Is the fact that you did, in fact, lose yourself in that person.
Absolutely.
But that situation is not an everyday situation. Sometimes relationships come to an end and people didn't lose themselves in each other. So the healing process for you is going to be totally different from the healing process maybe for Yolanda or for somebody else or Nixon, one of these people out here. It's going to be a total different thing because the wound was different. It was somewhat deeper than the others. As far as what went on with that person, I also think that sometimes we empower people, we empower situations, or we empower things too much. And just hearing you speak, that person you speak of is highly empowered.
Yeah.
Because that your happiness is still in that person. And it's almost like it's going to be up to that person to give you back that happiness. Now, Mr. Right, you see that person, he was Mr. Right then. He was a Mr. Right. That point. You see, Mr. Right is probably looking at you day in, day out, but you've got your filters up, you got your guards up, and you ain't paying him no mind. I'm gonna link you up on my brethren, all right? And
no, well, you see, you have to be careful because I don't know if the other party is watching the show. You know, I am seeing someone, you know, I'm seeing someone right now. And technically speaking, I'm happy where I am with it. You know, and I'm not lying about it. Because as you said, you were right. I placed too much of me in that one person. So it took me a long time to find me back.
Wow.
You know?
But there's nothing wrong with that. So here's the point. G. Cole, you like the word organic. And so I'm going to use your word with you. So a lot of men think it's organic not to just be with one woman. And some women feel like it's organic to do what she chooses to do in the moment, right? Because organic is what's natural. It is how it normally comes out of the ground or how it's developed, right? So a lot of people don't believe in monogamy. Right. Marlene, I think here's the real thing. You gave yourself to a relationship because the two of you agreed to do that. You're not wrong for feeling the pain that you sound like you still feel. Right. But here's the thing. Because he disappointed you, you received that as a you thing, not a him thing. And you took that into every relationship after.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you looked for the same things that he said he didn't like in you, and you think that they feel the same way. So that's the
Absolutely.
reason why you keep seeing it duplicated, because you're taking it, you're reflecting what you see. The bottom line is you got to see that was him, had nothing to do with you. No matter who he would have been with, he probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
You got to free yourself from the prison of thinking if you had done or if you were, he would have.
Yeah.
Because remember, I told you, this is an individual journey. There's nothing wrong for us to say, I am committed to you.
Yeah.
And that means I'm going to try to see if I can compromise on some of the things that you like, that I'll try to see if I like them too. You didn't do wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
What happened
That's
was
true.
he didn't keep up his end of the bargain.
That's
He's
true.
the issue. But he's not a bad person.
No.
He just had issues with being monogamous with you. But
That's
that had
absolutely true.
nothing to do with you. We internalize all of these things. And this is another reason why we can't get beyond it. Because we first say, why me? What did I do? What didn't I do? Am I not pretty enough? I know we do this.
Yes.
And
yes.
then the man says, I don't make enough money. She only wanted me for these things. The bottom line is this is why I keep saying, you have to find it within yourself. Fill those stop gates in yourself. Fill those gaps in yourself. So when you meet somebody, you're coming in as a whole person.
Yeah.
You're going to know if he's whole or not, or she's whole or not, because you're whole. When people try to attack who you are, I have a list. I do. I have expectations. I do, because I can meet everything I expect. For me to take less than myself is to put myself in a place where pain will come. So we should be looking for a partner, not someone to save us.
Right.
And that's what most people are doing. They're looking to be saved.
Yeah.
Save yourself. We believe spiritually that if you're a spiritual person, especially you're a Christian, my mom is probably watching this, so I'm going to speak a little bit of this and she'll be proud of me. We believe that the spirit dwells within us, but we keep looking externally for everything. But if the Spirit of God dwells within you, all you need comes from within out. Stop looking, blaming, being. The choices we make are because of where we are. When we grow or mature and we're no longer there, the relationship may not work. Yep. We can try to fit it, we can try to force it, but it does not work. But that doesn't mean you have to abuse yourself or that person. That's the reason why I believe you can positively uncouple. And I don't believe in one person, Dawn. I think you hit it on the head tonight at 8 o'clock. There is no one person for you. Just like your husband was for you in that moment, just like your guy is for who you are right now, all of it was for you. Yeah. And they all fit a need then. We grow, we mature, we evolve, and guess what? There may be somebody on every level that we get to, or we may get with somebody who grows with us. Doesn't mean he's the only one or she's the only one. It just means that this person hit the rhythm that I'm on at this time, and we can keep growing together. I think, now this is just me, and this is not law, but I do believe that you can have more than one person, but it doesn't mean you have to forget the person who gave you the love or upliftment or change your life. My ex-husband, who's a Jamaican from Otarias, he is my best male friend, literally. Love him. Love him. He is married. I love his wife. He has children. I love his children. I love his family. I still love them. We have a very good friendship.
Jamaican men.
Different directions.
That's awesome, Yolanda.
Marlene.
I said that's awesome. So Marlene, I want to
Jamaican men are the hardest to love.
No, but with it now, Marlene.
Marlene, I wanted to say to you, because a lot of women are finding themselves in your position, and that's why we have these conversations, so we can encourage each other and grow and learn from each other's experiences. So I'm so sorry that someone tore your heart out and that you gave so much of you to him. And hopefully you can grow from that and walk away and know that you deserve so much better.
I have grown a lot though, Dawn. I have grown.
Good.
I mean, I can talk about it now. At one stage I couldn't talk about it. I was
it's
so
been
ashamed.
a long time.
A very long time.
But if you think about how many years you've lost doing
which
that,
is true.
It's just cherishing every moment in life. And like Yolanda mentioned, it's like, and in today's show as well, making the most of your life, especially if someone has made you lose some of that life or you allowed yourself to lose it. Now is the time as we mature to make sure we're not losing a second in someone else. If someone deserves to be in your life, they're in your life. If they don't deserve to be in your life, then you need to be able to close that door and move forward and be confident. It's okay to be single. And a lot of people don't see that.
And what I do now, instead of having a checklist, I know what I don't want in my life, what I don't need, because
I have both.
I have been living on my own for so long. It's not money for me anymore. I've been pushing my own door for over 10 years. Kids, I have my boys. You talk about love. This is how you know you love, when you have kids. You understand me? So I am not lacking love, but I know what I will never want in my life anymore. Never, ever, ever want in my life anymore.
So let's talk about tonight's topic, which was the idea that there's only one person for each of us is total madness. And Yolanda touched the surface of this one. So your thoughts on that, G-Go? Total madness or no?
I think there is one person for one person. I think what happens pretty much is we conflate what it is sometimes. And even going to what Yolanda was saying earlier, yes, there's different persons at a time. If I find my person right now and we're in love and we're making it work, that's my person. But if something happens, be it just the relationship came to an end, it doesn't mean that you're gone and you're still my person. I can move on. But where the lines get blurred is, are we talking about promiscuity? Are we talking about, because no matter what people say, she said earlier that you can have, two people and respect. Nah, as human beings, I don't think we're wired to equally love multiple people. You can't do that. Not on a romantic love setting. You can equally love your children. You can equally love your siblings, but it's not possible to equally love two people romantically. And here's what happens, because I've seen it tried. Believe me. Some people say, well, we're in an open relationship until one owner catch feelings, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So now it's cool to date other people. But you come home Friday evening with all intentions of being with Joe G, and Joe G's getting dressed saying like, so where you going? I'm heading out this evening. All right, cool. Let me come with you. Nah, you can't come. You mean you can't come? You can't come, girl. You know what I mean? But you're getting feelings now, and it's a total different viewpoint. So when people say, yeah, it's okay for me to be with multiple persons, guess what? You're probably with two people that you don't love either one of them.
Thank you.
Right? You don't love either one of them enough.
Thank you.
What being with one person is more than sexual stuff. It's a connection. My significant other knows all my details. Everything goes through my mind, all my pains, all my aches, my financial stuff, everything. Now, if you love somebody just as much as you love me, do we have any personal stuff? How much of my stuff does that person know? You know what I mean? How much? Where is our union? Where's our web? Where's our circle? It doesn't exist. This whole multiplicity, I don't think it is normal. But to each his own. Ain't gonna fly over here, but to each his own.
GQ, you can love more than one person, but you can only be in love with one person at a time.
Funny, I think you can be in love with multiple people. What I'm saying is this: I don't think it can be equal, is what I'm saying. So if I'm in love with you, Yolanda, one owner getting more than me. I'm a human being. I don't have the capability of giving you 50.
We share.
You know what I mean? You know what? You're getting cuter and cuter by the moment. I'm telling you.
So you're saying that we can have two people that we're dating and we can't be in love with both of them?
No, you can. So. You can. I'm just saying that it's not going to be equally distributed. So for me to say I love Yolanda and Marlene the same. Here's the deal. If somebody's, if we're about to get shot and I can't jump in front of the two of you, I'm making a decision to jump in front of the one I love the best. And one of y'all getting shot tonight, right?
So therefore, you're in love with one of us, really.
No. In love with you
Technically
both,
speaking.
but one more than the other.
Absolutely. So therefore, you're in love with one of us more than. So therefore, you're more in love with one. So that's where your real love lies. You're just using me at the back end. Put it that way.
No, I'm gonna use she.
Oh, you're using she. Sorry.
I agree with that. I think you can be in love with more than one person, just like you can love more than one child. You cannot put limitations on love, right? If you're talking organic, if you're talking what's natural, just like you can love all of your children, you can have more than one love that you're in love with. The only reason why you couldn't say both of us is because it's not possible for you to jump in front of both of us at the same time. But if there were a way and you loved us both, you would. Polyamorous, polygamy has been around since the conception of the world. I was raised a Muslim. I know many people who have more than one wife that they love very much. It wasn't for me, but I know it. I believe personally that a lot of what we're dealing with is ego. But I think you can have an adult relationship and say, I want to be in a monogamous relationship. If that person agrees, then you have a right to hold that person accountable. If that person does not promise you monogamy, then you're putting yourself into a position that there may be other people. I believe you can love more than one person, just like you can love two parents, just like you can love two children. Love is love. You cannot differentiate what kind of love there is and then put status and levels to it. People really can love people equally.
Well, I can't. Let me clarify. I can't.
I can't.
Nixon, what about you? I know you're still asking what is love, but
I'm right because like Yolanda said, you can love your children 2, 3, 4, and you can still love 3, 4 guys. I don't know what this love is in this point. I don't know how she define it, but like Gregory, I think I can love only one person. Like Marlene say, I will love more than her. You know what I mean? If you have to love that woman more than the other woman, that's mean something's wrong. I don't call it love. So you might call it love, but I don't think it's love. You have to focus. You have to share. It's a complicated thing to think you can have 2 people in your life.
But I want to go back to what G. Cole said about like the comparison to your children. So I have 2 children. They're both 2 uniquely different children, one boy and one girl. And I love them both, obviously. But I love them. There's a special love for your kids that's different than a relationship. Mm-hmm. And I love them both for 2 totally different reasons. And my love for both of them is endless, right? So let me take it to what you said, G. Cole, where if I love 2 men, and this is not the case, but if I did, right, couldn't I love them, but for different reasons on the same level that you're comparing it to the love of my children, but for 2 totally different reasons, because they both bring something so important and significant to my relationship.
Well, okay. And again, for clarification, I am not saying that, let me start saying me, okay? I'm going to start speaking on behalf of me. I can't do it, right? Maybe we got some people out here who are built a little better and stronger than I am. I can't do it. Now, to something that Yolanda had said too, a lot of times these so-called polygamous folks are people who believe in multiple partners. They don't go into the relationship stating that, right? Because it might not fly. A lot of times this comes up later on once you're comfortable in a relationship and you feel like venturing out and having some extra stuff, right? So is a situation that you openly believe in this and the person you are with believes in it too? Nah, somebody got deceived. But back to what you just asked, Dawn, I mentioned the kids situation because it's natural for you to love. You can have 10 children and equally love them all, right? Now, when you have multiple people, like you mentioned, not you, but if you have multiple people, like you mentioned, one person gives you something, the other person gives you something. What if what one person gives to you is more important to you than what this person gives? Also, what if the person who gives you something also can give you some of what the other person gives, but one person can only give you one, right? Are you equally sharing and distributing that love? You know, it's a question to be asked. And again, I look at it this way, is that you have two persons. Here's how you're going to judge if this whole polygamy is for you. When that person starts distributing their love outside of your circle too, right? At that point is normally when the problems come into play. You see, whomever can have their cake and eat it. And we have an ego thing, which we never want to admit. Most people who do stuff like that, we have an ego. All right. There's an ego that you're satisfying. You're the man, you're the woman. You want to do what you do until you get on the other end of the stick. When I was a young kid growing up, a teenager, I used to tell my boys, here's what I'm going to do. Any relationship I'm in, she better love me more than me love her. No, because that's how it's going to work. You know what I mean? She got to love me more than I love her. But at the end of the day, once you get to that point where you're talking about sharing love, you judge that and gauge that love when the other person decides that it's time for them to share love too. And we see how much polygamy you can handle.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
true.
think we're missing a point that was brought up, Don, in your earlier conversation. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you will do it. It's about choice. You choose to be monogamous. You choose to relate. It's not that you're incapable. You're just choosing this person. And every day you choose that person.
Nope, incapable. For me, that's me. That's what I'm saying. For me, incapable. It's not my choice. It's I'm incapable.
So I want to go to what some of the viewers are saying. So Michelle Hussein says infidelity goes both ways. Fran Black, thank you for joining. And she says men lose themselves too in relationships.
Sure.
So absolutely, G. Cole gave an example of some of his friends that are crying their hearts out. And he thinks they won't see the show, but I bet you if you share this enough, they'll see the show. But he didn't call their names, so they're pretty safe. Susan Reed says people can disconnect themselves in a heartbeat without remorse or consideration for the other person, and it will throw you into a loop and have you thinking, who is this person? Have I been living a lie? And it can be devastating. Absolutely. And we touched on that. It's just like after years of giving yourself to someone, bearing their children. And, you know, to me, it's just, and this is as I matured in life and understood, it's just that we weren't meant to be. And that was the whole point of the show before this. Are you meant to be with one person? Not necessarily at that time in your life, that was the person for you. And I think if we look at it that way, and then we move on, there's another phase in our life and the better choices we're making as we mature. But most importantly, and I'll keep going back to this, is find yourself, know who you are, and don't lose yourself in someone else, because that's when you give up years of your life about it. And that's easy. It's not an easy thing, especially when your heart is breaking, but put yourself first. So Marlene?
Don't you have to learn to love yourself first? Don't go out there to try to love anybody until you love you.
Yeah.
Unconditionally. Because that's the only way you can express the love you need in your life through someone else, put it that way. I am a very, how do you put it? I'm a selfish lover. I ain't sharing nobody with nobody. And if I have to share you, you go, you're separate. We're parting. I'm not saying that the other person don't have somebody, you know, but if I know you have somebody, I'm out. I'm at that point in life that I'm not gonna try to salvage nothing. If I find out there is someone else, trust me, baby, you gone. Because
yeah, I don't think I don't know, it's being general, but I don't think anybody wants to share with someone. It probably depends whether you're with the person or you're dating.
Yeah, but Dawn,
we have to define. A lot of us think we're dating someone, or were involved with them and you're really just dating them. So I think you have to establish where you are in that relationship.
But Dawn, when you get married to someone, you know, as far as you're concerned, that's your person. But
you
then,
don't own them. You
but
don't
no,
own them.
no, not in terms of owning, in terms of the two of us trying to make life work together.
You own the union. You're
Yeah,
both
the
you're both
union,
equal,
but
you're
you
both
do
equal owners in
realize
the union, though.
you do realize people cheat on each other on their wedding day too.
Right,
So-
right in front of you.
Stop call out Steve's business on the air.
So what I'm saying to you is you will still be you. Women are heartbroken because you think you have formed this union and this person is going to be with you forever, ever, ever. And then you find out a couple weeks or months or years later, they slept with one of your bridesmaids. You know, and what do? Stay in it. You forgive them. You lose yourself and you think it's going to change. If someone slept with your bridesmaid, it's doomed, okay? That's right. You know, so what is your breaking point to say you cannot accept this person to waste any more days of your life?
Wow.
And those are the decisions that I make for myself personally on an everyday basis. Because if you're not worth my time, I'm not giving it to you. My time is precious.
Yeah.
So who did you cut off, the bridesmaid or the person?
It's never happened to me. The bodies are buried somewhere. No, it's never happened. I'm just saying, reality, it can happen or something
That's
close
deep,
to that.
Yeah.
And we forgive. And the same thing can happen to a man too. The woman slept with one of the groomsmen. So
Yeah,
it
well, you see
happens.
the groomsman look fine, so you see you actually.
Oh,
sorry, I
hold
didn't
on.
hear-
Hold up. You see, when you mentioned that the person slept with the bridesmaid, it was vile, you know. It was pretty much, it was unethical. But when you mentioned the opposite right about now, Marlene's like, yeah, so the thing go. Yeah, I mean.
You just have to decide your breaking point. I'm all for being at this stage in life, and this is probably as of probably 10, 15 years ago, knowing who I am as a woman and what I bring to a relationship and not taking garbage, so to speak, And I'm not saying I don't screw up and I don't make mistakes, but I know when I'm gonna walk away as well. Even if my heart is, breaking a little bit, I'm gonna walk away because I'm more important than the other person to me. And I also have children that I want to look up to me and respect me as a woman and as a mother and leading by example as well. So I'm going to ask each guest here tonight to wrap up and tell us what you have to say about both shows or anything personal about the conversation tonight. Yolanda, let's start with you.
The most important thing is for you to find yourself, know yourself, and then move in your own rhythm. Don't lose yourself to anyone. Don't do anything that you don't want to do. Be yourself. It is more than enough. Do not settle for anything less than you.
Thank you. And we're so happy that you came on today and gave us so much advice and information. It's such a pleasure to meet you. How about you, Mr. Nixon? Still trying to figure out love. Hopefully you got some good advice today.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I learned a lot. I think what's important is be true to yourself, because once you're true to yourself, you're gonna true to others. And it's okay to search to learn how to start a relationship, how to be a good man or a good woman. Because we have to learn that. Some people don't know anything. They get into a relationship, and when the things go wrong, go bad, and they keep complaining. We have to learn.
You seem like such a nice guy. You do. Because just for you to ask what is love, I mean, that's real manly and nice. I am sure somebody watching tonight is going to reach out to you. I feel it. You have a beautiful spirit too. So thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you, Don.
You're welcome. And Miss Marlene, any closing thoughts for you?
For me, the major thing is you have to learn to love yourself first and foremost. You have to love yourself. To show true love, you have to love yourself. And you must learn to know when to walk away. Learn to know when it's over, when it's not. Don't let it get to the point that it hurts you. Learn to know when that door is closed and you need to walk away. Because if you're going to keep bringing that even to your kids and all, you need to learn to know this is it. It's over. We let us move on as friends instead of great enemies. It's over. And that is the time when you learn, when you know to love you. You love you more than anything else in the world. I'm selfish about my love for me, and I'm not going to let anybody else break it. That's just my bottom line.
Thank you. And I'm so glad you came to that realization for yourself as well. Don't let anybody steal you, who you are and who you can become, and the journey that's still ahead of you. Thank you for that, Maya, and for being vulnerable tonight as well. And Mr. Gico, who had a lot to say today, a lot of good advice.
Based on the comments, I don't think so. But listen, I just want to say thank you all so much. And what I've learned pretty much, or continue to learn, is that dialogue is great. Dialogue is healthy. Talking to different people right now, Yolanda, Marlene, Nixon, yourself, different opinions, different views. But the word that's important here is different. Not wrong, not right, different. Marlene, you're dope, man. It's gonna be all good.
I tell you link me after the show. All right?
Link after this. I will leave you with this though. A lot of time there are the forgotten people who hurt, right? For example, you've been hurt by somebody and you're going through that hurt. You did mention earlier on that there was another person in your life. As the hurt still exists between you and the ex, that other person in the middle is getting some of that hurt too. They may not say anything, you know what I mean? That's how this is a different show. They may not say anything, they may not even show it. But so we got to be careful because sometimes unwillingly, unknowingly, we redistribute hurt. So that's all I'm saying. Just think about it. Look into it. But you're dope, you're fire. I'm gonna link you with my brethren because it's a good man. You know what I mean?
Right,
yeah, I mean.
I love connection. To our amazing viewers, I invite the panel to go back in and answer any questions that they may have asked you because we didn't have time to get to them. But we always appreciate you tuning into the Caribbean Edge and for sharing us and for choosing to join us on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Remember to check out as well the Caribbean Edge Kids Show. And if you have children, as we continue to grow and educate and motivate, send them over to me so we can have them on the Caribbean Edge Kids. We love what we do as a Caribbean community. We're strong and we are out of many one people. So love to all. Have a beautiful night. Thank you again.
All righty. Good night.
One love.